Hello, everybody. Anthony Crane here with Pocket Coach. And today I want to talk to you about something that I'm calling global agility. For me, it's what comes after business agility. So business agility is getting more and more mature, but I've been going to the business agility conference for 5 years now, and it is showing me there's a yet another form of agile. It's global agility, solving humanity's biggest problems. Now, they didn't name that. I kind of came up with this name, but I really think it works. So let me tell you what I think global agility is, and you guys can tell me what you think. So basically, I see the world as now being four kinds of agile. And it all started with software agility is what I'm calling it. It was just agile. And it was the idea that we took the Agile Manifesto, its 4 values, its 12 principles, and used it to develop software better, right? So that's the original, the OG, and it's the most mature. There's tons of content to help you with software agility. As software agility became more and more mature, a new flavor of agile came out. A lot of people call what I'm about to say business agility, but I don't think it is. So I made up again my own term here, operational agility. Okay. So operational agility is when you take agile and use it as a technique, a management technique, a work management technique, but in non-software places. So again, that might be business agility to some people, but for me, it's just operational agility. So if I try to do agile with an HR department, a finance department, a legal department, even if I create a management hierarchy in the org chart and I have the managers form into agile teams with their direct reports, I love doing that. It's a very powerful pattern. But again, I don't see that as business agility. I think it's operational agility. It's a way to operate. It's a way to do the job. Okay. So it's very exciting. And I love doing this. By the way, my degree is computer engineering, right? And I got a 4.0. I was a great programmer. That's why I would love being an agile coach, because I was connected. But as I've learned more and connected more and understood more about the culture, I really got into this idea of doing agile everywhere else, right? And so this is what's starting to get me excited. So operational agility. Okay, so then we do have, in fact, business agility. And if you notice, it's not the top of the pyramid, right? Because global agility, the punchline is that's what I think is next. So for business agility, this is when we use agile to solve an actual business problem. And when I've been going to this business agility conference in New York City, I see a lot of case studies that align with business agility that are not what my clients have typically asked me to do. My clients typically ask me to help a software development team become more agile, or maybe if I'm really lucky, a marketing department, or I actually got to do a mergers and acquisitions team and help them adopt agile as an operating system, right? So operational agility, it's so much more fun for me because I've done software agility for so many years now, but I can't even remember how many years I've been doing this. So business agility is when you identify a true business problem and you form a team to solve that problem. So two of my favorite examples from the business agility conference, one of them was that one company's reputation was terrible. And they said, how can we use agile to fix our reputation? So in this case, it was a utility company, and they decided to allow the drivers to self-organize. See, what would happen is the drivers would see a little old lady and she'd be like, my power's out. And they would have to say, well, you have to call that in. And it bothered them because this person could die of heat stroke before anyone came to see them, but yet they were right there. Maybe they could just solve the problem quickly. But when they proposed that, people were like, no way. You can't just go and solve the problem, because that's going to disrupt your whole route, and other people now will be waiting, and our reputation will only get worse. It's not going to help. It's going to make it worse. But then someone else said, well, what if we made an app? Right now, software comes in, and maybe they use software agility for that part. So what if we create an app that allows the driver to say, hey, I'm going to reroute to help this person. I've just took a look, and it's definitely something I can fix right now. And another driver can say, oh, I'll pick that one up for you. So now they're covering for each other. And what if we build Slack in? Everybody knows you're not supposed to operate at 100% utilization. We're supposed to maximize flow. So now we maximize flow because we close more overall cases every day, but we leave that Slack in to allow for that discretion. Right. And so sure enough, they got written up as everyday heroes in the local news and whatnot. So it helped their reputation tremendously. My even more favorite example was a hotel. They had a business agility coach stay at the hotel. And later they called that person and said, hey, we noticed you're a business agility coach. Could you our hotel is facing going out of business. We're actually going to be closing half the year. Could business agility help us save our hotel? That's a business problem. And so the person went back, they stayed at the hotel, they formed 4 agile teams, one for the HR staff, for the restaurant staff, one for the cleaning staff, one for the front desk, and one for the manager. So they created 4 different agile teams, and they chartered them with saving the hotel in addition to their normal job. And they did. The hotel became max capacity. By the way, half of the cleaning staff quit. because they were like, I'm just here to clean rooms, man. I'm not here to save a hotel. And to half that state, however, were very excited. They're like, this is really cool. Right? That's business agility. A mission to Mars, right? How do we get to Mars? That would be business agility. That one might also fall under global agility because it's kind of amazing to be able to do something like that. A SWOT diagram. People don't know how to take a SWOT diagram and turn it into action. A business agility team could take a strategic SWOT diagram for a company and make that actionable, right? So these are all ways that business agility could really work. So what's next then, right? And by the way, I don't even get to do enough of business agility, and yet I got my eye on the next level. I want my phone to ring for business agility more than operational agility, and operational agility more than software agility. I've done software agility for a very long time. Business agility is what excites me now, except there are other case studies that just didn't fit here. So enter the term global agility. So again, I've coined both the global agility and the operational agility as terms. Maybe other people have as well. I haven't Googled it, but as far as I know, invented them in my own head. With global agility, actually, there was a person at the conference, a woman who was working on this, and I think she called it environmental agility or something like that. And when I heard that, I thought she was saving the environment. I'm like, oh, that's not my area. And she's like, I was told to talk to you, and I don't understand. I said, because I'm not an environmentalist. And she's like, no, it's like all these case studies that we've been hearing. And I said, oh, you need a better name. And so she's like, well, think of one. And I did, and it was global agility. So here are two of the most exciting case studies. There was a water shortage problem in Ecuador, and they said, could global agility solve that problem? I'm sorry, I'm pausing because I'm trying to figure out if I spelled Ecuador right. I may not have. Anyway, how do we solve the water shortage problem in Ecuador? This is a humanity problem. This is solving humanity's biggest problems. How do we take the agile mindset, form agile teams, and solve problems of this level? That's why the mission to Mars might actually fit better under global agility as opposed to business. It's on the border. There was a woman who told us a story. Her name was Sally. She was a daughter of the Sudan. So apparently, if I remember her story correctly, there was a dictator who came into power in the Sudan, and he had 30 generals assassinated, 2 escaped with their lives. She was the daughter of one of them, so she felt very connected. And she heard about a movement to leapfrog the United States in all things social and economic. Right? What a noble mission for a country where right now we have trading embargoes. Right now it's has a dictator in place. So she wanted to help. And she's like, I know nothing about infrastructure and government and dictatorships, but what I do know is how to form high-performing teams that solve the most difficult problems. So she joined and used that. Well, fast forward, the dictator is overthrown and a new prime minister is put in. He contacts her and says, hey, I heard what you did for the country. I would love for you to come in and teach this agile thing to my entire cabinet so we can try using that agile mindset to run the country. Now, unfortunately, that prime minister was overthrown by a new dictator, so she never got the opportunity to do that, but that is global agility. The Ecuador problem, after the woman went to help with it's interesting, a woman for the Ecuador problem, a woman for the Sudan problem, and also that hotel was also a woman, and the woman who told us about the reputation. So a lot of women have been sharing these stories. I find that very exciting as well. Anyway, so the woman who solved the problem for Ecuador, she actually was successful. And a neighboring country calls her, and a guy says to her, hey, I'm running for president, and I was wondering if you would be my vice president on the ticket. And she's like, I never thought about being a vice president. I'm not even in your country. And she's like, I wouldn't even know what to do. And he's like, no, you just do what you did for Ecuador, and we'll be great. And so she talked it over with her husband. They're like, is this really something I want to do? She ended up running, and they didn't win. Okay, but this is global agility, using Agile to solve humanity's biggest problems. I have a friend who's trying to solve homelessness in the United States. That would be a great global agility project as well. So there you have it. This is the way I see Agile today. When people ask me what's next, I think global agility is next. Bottom line, I currently do an awful lot of software agility, but my heart is captivated by global agility. My heart is captivated by business agility and even by operational agility, in that order. So there you have it. Almost all my peers who do Agile coaching, they are as excited about this as I am, right? They may not have these words yet, but they are attracted to global agility. They are attracted to business agility and operational agility. So people out there watching this video, this is where we need to go next. We need to use Agile to solve humanity's biggest problems. We need to use Agile to solve your business's biggest problems. Stop worrying about the maturity level of your Agile teams. That's not where the game is at. How do we solve big problems using this incredible approach, this incredible operating system called the Agile mindset and all these really cool Agile practices? So that's it. My name is Anthony Crane, and I hope you found this video enlightening or inspiring or exciting. And if you want help with any of these, give me a call and let me know.